Hello, farmers, and welcome to the harvest season. I'm Kevin, and with me today is
Cody.
we're here to talk
Woo.
about cottage core games. Woo, there's somewhere in there. Put
Woo.
those
Ow,
things in the right order.
ow,
Hungry like the wolf. Already
ow.
going off on the first tangent deal. I like Duran Duran. What a good
I love
game.
Duran Duran.
So good.
I grew up on Duran Duran.
I I I grew up on a lot of 80s because I know that's what my parents listened to, and that just transferred over to me, right? So a lot of fondness for those groups.
Hmm.
But yeah, her name is Rio. She's dancing on the sand, don't you
She
know?
dances on the sand, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Um, it kind of paints me how many of these bands that I'm never actually going to see in concert that I enjoy, right?
Oh my God, I've
Uh,
never thought of that. Why did you just do that to me?
the one, oh man, I mean, yeah, I would kill for a Hall and Oates concert, but I don't know when that'll happen. I need actually, are they touring? I don't know. Because they make money, so
Hmm.
maybe they're still touring. I don't know. Oh, apparently they're touring Hall and Oates in Canada and Houston and San Antonio. Well, keep tuned, listeners. Will Kevin get to see Hall and Oates in concert? Maybe.
Hmm.
Um, anyways, what we're actually here to talk about, not just reverence for the 80s, but we are here to talk about cottage core games, in particular, Cinnabunny, the bunny baking game, action RPG game, throwing all those genre modifiers in there.
The bunny baking action RPG. The way that you said that makes me think that you bake something and then that's like a weapon that you use to defeat evil. And I'm so looking forward to discussing
Oh
uh
my gosh,
how
that'd
that's
be sick.
incorporated into the gameplay.
That would be so sick.
Right?
Doing air combos with a baguette. um, it's actually not action. It is RPG though. I mean, you are doing actions. You can fly planes, but
Yeah.
all right. But before we get to that, we got news. We got other stuff. And you know what? Wait, did we? I missed the last episode or two. Did we formalize this segment name? I know what you released last month.
Well, so we
Um,
did it in because
yeah, I remember
now
you did
it's
it.
for, so we did it at the end of January, and I think that's what
Yes,
we joked that the thing would be called. And so
yes,
now I think that's what it is. So it's,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know
I don't
what
think that.
you released last month.
I haven't seen
Woo!
those numbers, but here we go. Let's see what the scary fish hook man has to say.
The scary
Um,
fish.
okay. So, what came out in February of 2025? Well, first of all, Cinnabunny did indeed release in just the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I blitzed to play that game. But it's good. It's on Steam right now only for Windows. Sadly, no Mac or whatever. Um, it is only 24.99 USD.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's a great buy at that price. Obviously, I will get into that more later, but price. We got Pixel Cross Rune Factory on Switch and Steam, again, Windows only for $12 USD. This is the not Picross because that's a brand, but same type of game. We covered it before, similar one before Pixel Cross, Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
But now this is the Rune Factory iteration, which is interesting. So interesting. Who knows? Maybe somebody will talk about it on a certain show or these things. Um, we also have Echoes of the Plum Grove. We got the Switch version that has already been out on Steam for Windows and Mac. It is 19.99 USD, 40 with 40% off until March 12th. So that's like a week after you guys are listening to this. So get
Yeah.
to it, everyone.
And part of that is the Women's Day sale. So
Oh, is that what
on
it is?
Steam,
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
on
cool, cool.
Steam right now is the Women's Day sale, and that goes through March 9th. And that is honoring studios that are led either by women or by gender identifying minorities.
Right.
So yeah, so I think that's at least 20% because everything on the Women's Day sale is 20%. So at least 20%
Yeah.
of the 40% off on Echoes of the Plum Grove is for the Women's Day sale. But But
Yeah.
yeah.
And this one is well, it's a lot more traditional-esque, cozy
Hmm.
Stardew stuff. But it's notable because it has a very cute, almost Paper Mario art
Hmm.
style. So that is almost worth checking out for that alone, I think. I love that art style, right? But yeah, you're farming. It looks kind of like in a Victorian Englandy colonial America setting. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, check that out. I might check that out. That's interesting, actually. Now that I look at it closely. Um, wow, all these things I'll be checking out because the last one for sure. We got Amber Isle on the Switch for 24.99 USD. Finally on the Switch. I'd been wanting that for a while. I'll get to it soon. I hope that's the dinosaur Animal Crossing, basically.
Hmm.
Um, then I like dinosaurs and I like Animal Crossing, so right up my alley.
Why
That's been
not?
out on Steam for a while, but we got the Switch version, which yeah, makes sense. Good fit. Um, and yeah, that is what has come out in the last month. And before we get into other game news and updates and whatnot, Cody, what have you been up to?
I have been playing a lot of the games that I have continued to talk about, but on previous episodes. But I just realized, in danger of leading a tangent, that you like Marvel, and 2 or 3 days ago, my Adderall told me, which I'm now on Adderall, it's lovely. My Adderall told me, hey, you haven't watched the Marvel movies in a while. And so
Hmm.
I watched all of phase one in one day.
Wow. I mean, wow.
Yeah, so let me look at my list for that so folks
Okay.
might not know
First of
what I'm
all,
talking about.
first of all, that's a lot of movie, right?
It was.
But second of all, those are also almost all really good.
They're
So
so good. I think that I'm gonna have to skip some later on, but I don't know. We'll see. So phase one, the Infinity Saga includes Iron Man, the 2008 Iron Man, 2008 Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, and the Avengers. I am now in phase
wait,
two.
Thor. You said Thor, right? Or did
I
I
said
hear?
Thor, yeah.
Yes, Thor. Okay.
I am now in phase two, which is Iron Man 3, Thor, the Dark World, Captain America, Winter Soldier. So I watched those three yesterday.
Oh, see, this is when things get interesting because we get to the highest of high and lowest of lows in this spread.
Yeah, so the next one is Guardians of the Galaxy,
Hmm.
and then Ultron, and then Ant-Man. So yeah, I think everything in the first saga, phase one, is was
Hmm.
gold. I liked it. I mean, I don't like Captain America at all, but like
It's
that was an okay
the
movie, whatever.
it's the
Um,
reason it worked. Like, I mean, the whole reason the MCU exists. If
correct.
the phase one had failed at any point, we would not. It would not be here today.
Iron Man 3, Chef's Kiss, no notes. I love that movie. And then the second Thor and second Captain America movies, I couldn't tell you much about what happened in those movies. So
That's
excited
fine.
for Guardians of the Galaxy though later.
Guardians
I
is
love
good.
those.
Guardians is good.
So yeah, I've been doing that. That's
Man.
one thing I've been up to.
Oh man. What?
What is your favorite MCU movie?
Oh, that's I'm gonna go with original Avengers, 2012
Yeah, it
Avengers,
was it was real good.
because one, it's good, and two, it's like it's a handful of things. Because I was in a Marvel fan before the MCU, right?
Hmm.
Um, I was deep geek niche fan. I knew dumb characters and stuff like that, right? So
Hmm.
this was a moment of like, I can't believe this is actually happening. I can't believe I live in a world where Avengers have taken second center stage in a hit
Hmm.
blockbuster Hollywood movie. Um, and also, I mean, just everything works, right? They built up to it correctly, and
Hmm.
it's a big cast, and they still manage to play around, and everyone gets their moments. It's chef's kiss. Yeah, it's still.
I did also, I think it was either in this movie or in Iron Man 3, I can't remember, but like someone comes forward and is like talking about how they're watching. I think someone from Shield, maybe, I don't know.
Hmm.
But they're like, we've been watching all the big characters like
Yeah,
Tony Stark, da 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 da, and then he says Stephen Strange. And
that is from Captain America,
okay, cool. And
the
Doctor
second
Strange
one.
isn't
Hmm.
even in this phase. So
Yeah,
it's like a drop, like it's a name
it
drop that
it
people who
is.
would know. Because I was like,
Yeah.
did I skip that movie?
Nope.
But no, it's way later.
Yep.
So,
And it's really funny because it makes no sense because up to at that point, because it's supposedly taking more or less place in real time,
Yeah.
he is literally just a doctor. I don't know why they're
Yeah,
watching
like
him, but
why
he's
do
too
they
good of
care
a
about
doctor.
him?
I don't
He's just
know.
doing his thing.
Because he looks too much
So
like Benedict Cumberbatch, I guess. I don't know.
I like bumper sticker Cabbage Patch. That's my favorite Benedict Cumberbatch name
Oh, that's a good one.
thing.
I've always been Benedict Cumberbatch myself.
Oh,
Um,
Cumberbund. That's another really good one.
yeah.
Okay, so the games that I've been playing, let me just run through them really quick. I am still playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete, and I am now level 105. I think previously I was in the 60s, so I've been playing it.
Oh,
Um,
dang. Oh,
st
dang.
yeah, still playing Mini Farm. I'm in the last area now, and I just need to buy the last house. The story has progressed, but I still have questions. So
It blows my mind. There's story to be
it's
had in
intriguing
this
enough.
game.
Yeah, for sure. Still playing Honey Grove as well. I mean, the game loop of that game is
Hmm.
you're planting stuff, you're getting resources, you're clearing the area around your hive so you can decorate it, and then there's like a map that you're clearing by the adventures of your bees. So I am just
Hmm.
pretty much just going through um the map clearing stuff at this point, but it all takes time. It's always like usually at least
Okay.
3 hours for your bees to be sent out on a mission. So, but I
Okay.
don't, I, it's just a fun little, I jump on it. I spend maybe 5 minutes getting everything done and then I play it later that evening. So it's fine.
Yeah.
The final
That's
thing is Bug and Seek, which I don't know if I've mentioned well, I think we've mentioned it on the pod last time I was on as like, this is now out. How did we miss this?
okay.
Um,
I've seen and heard that I don't remember. Do tell me
okay.
what is hide and seek.
So it's basically you come to a town to revive the insectarium of the town, which is basically like the insect zoo of the town. And your whole job is to like walk around this town and collect insects and give people like some people are like, "Oh man, I really want this for my collection." Some people are like, these cucumber beetles are eating my plants. Bring me three dead ones to show that you've like murdered them or something because they're like
Bring
upset.
bring me the trophies of your kill of the
Exactly.
hunt
And like, so
so we
there's
can parade
multiple,
it around the village square.
so we can put them on posts to warn any other cucumber
Yes.
beetles.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, so it's basically just an entire town that is all very conscious of insects. And I am here for it. There are like you can buy tanks at a couple different stores. You catch insects in a bunch of different terrains. Like you either get them out of trees, they're either flying around, they might be under a rock in grass, like whatever. And you are trying to revive the insectarium and fill it back in the zoo because apparently someone in the Great Bug Heist of the previous year, someone just like stole everything and just
Uh-oh.
absconded with it. And you're trying to figure out who done it. It's like a who done it as well.
Okay.
Because you go through and you're like someone's like, "Oh, this guy looked really shady." And so you go and you're like, "What
Uh,
the heck?" And he's like, "Oh, but I have an alibi for that night, but this girl, like she was saying some bad things." And so
oh my
it's
gosh. So
all
I'm
about
I'm
yeah.
looking at the trailer and it's like
Yeah.
literally like a notebook where you're jotting down your clue notes to figure out
Yeah.
who did it. That's incredible.
It's so fun, and you could totally just run around and catch all the bugs if you want. And there's also an entomologic institute. It's called like EEII or something, but it's like basically the museum, and it's something for in excellence or something. I don't know. It was amazing. I think it's Entomological Institute for Insect Excellence.
That's
And
this is incredible.
I love this game. So I'm a promiser. Y'all know me. I'm the promiser of the podcast, and I promise we're gonna have an episode on
I
this.
mean, you don't even have to like that's I think it's just a given
It's
for
a given.
anyone
It's
who
yeah.
knows. So I'm looking at it. It's very simple sprite art style. It's very cute.
Hmm.
Everyone just has like little rectangle eyes, no other facial features. This
But
is good. I love
the
this.
bugs are like legit. And as you
Yeah, they're
catch
detailed
more of like the different categories, and they have wasps and bees in like different categories, which is
as it
just
should be.
chef's kiss. And like there's just I can't go on enough about this game.
Well,
So
you'll have to at some
yeah,
point.
look forward to that, folks. Kev,
And
what have you been up to?
first, I just want to say that's only 15 USD,
I
and it's on
know.
Switch.
And I have it on
Dang.
Switch. Yeah. Okay.
That's impressive.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, so what have I been up to? Okay. First of all, Pokemon Day happened. The Pokemon Presents.
Hmm.
We have a greenhouse on it. I assume you saw it, Cody.
I I like skimmed something.
Okay, we saw the highlights.
I saw the
Um,
highlights. I didn't really like look that much into the ZA
mm-hmm.
stuff.
Okay.
But and I listened to your guys' prediction ep, but not the response ep. So
Yeah. We didn't actually, we should have probably like cross examined, gone back and see what we actually got right or wrong. I don't know why we didn't think about it, but
I mean that's totally fine. I think the funniest thing was that I opened Pokemon Pocket
hmm
while I was listening and to that episode and I opened it and I was like, "Oh, there's a new pack." And then literally like immediately after I thought that, Al was like, "And I'm sure Pokemon Pocket's going to have a new pack come out." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Yep.
It's
There
so
were a few we
funny.
got right. There's
It
no doubt
was
about that.
so funny.
I believe, gosh, did I say it on that episode where if we were going to get a new side game, it was going to be mobile and Switch maybe.
Yeah, I think you did say something like that.
And there we go. We got champions.
So,
Anyways,
yeah, tell me about
um,
it.
uh, so anyways, I'm bringing it up because, um, for anyone who didn't see, one of the, in ZA, one of the starters is Totodile.
Hmm.
Um, and I've seen a lot of fan art, and because there's there's a description of Totodile on the website, and just talk about like he's always just that empty. He just wants to bite everything, right? Um,
Hmm.
and I just want to say I have one of those at home. I know what it's like to live with that because I have a puppy and he's growing up, but he is still just head empty, bite everything. Um,
He just
uh,
bites everything. He's just a
he
mouth.
basically and he does it so fast, so nonchalant. When I take him out on a
Uh-huh.
walk, he'll just just walk and just sideswipe, grabs a pine cone out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, they get good
Um,
at it.
yes.
So
But anyways, yeah,
listeners, anytime we mention an animal in the pod, there's going to be a picture of it on the Slack. So
I'll
Kev
put it
will
up.
Kev will post a picture on the
Yeah,
Slack.
I'll post Lucky. He's growing up. He's becoming a big boy. He lifted his leg
Oh.
when he peed the other day for the first time.
Oh. Remus
So
doesn't even do that.
yeah.
Remus is 14.
Oh my goodness.
He's still squatty potties.
No. Oh. Well, I don't know if it'll stick. I only saw it once, but yeah,
Mhm.
that's lucky. Other than that, and I've been very busy working, so not
Mhm.
too much game wise. Obviously, I've been playing Cinnabunny as much as I could to
Mhm.
talk about it. And we'll get there. The other one that I have my usual stuff. Zenless and Pokemon Unite and yada yada. All regulars. The only one of real interest is Marvel Snap. Um. So they came out with a new mode,
Mhm.
called Sanctum Showdown, and I just want to talk about it because it's I think it's very fun. So in Marvel Snap, for people who don't know, you have three locations, and you win the game at the end of turn 6 or 7 or whatever. Whoever and you just it's points, right? Whoever has the most points wins the location. So you're trying to win the most locations, 2 out of 3 locations or whatever.
Mhm.
In this mode, the Sanctum Showdown, they changed it up. What it is every turn, um, you get uh, basically each location has a number of points assigned to it.
Mm.
There'll be like 2 locations with one and a third one with 4 points or something like that. So instead of trying to win them after a certain number of turns, you're trying to win as many points as you can every single turn.
Mhm.
So you want to build fast and early. And it's fun. Getting without getting too deep into the weeds. It's just anytime you have a long time running game or whatever, and they introduce a new mode, it's always a breath of fresh air, right? And I've been enjoying it. Um, the only what I'd complain about is so there's these rewards, right? You get special uh Sanctum Fun Bucks basically, a special currency just for this mode, and you get special.
Hmm.
There's a shop for this mode. Um, the rate they give it out is horrible. What they want you to do is to go on Twitch and to put on Marvel Snap streamers, and they'll give you a currency for doing that, which is so
Yeah, that's a yick. That's an ick for sure.
yeah. Because yeah, some of the other guys I was talking to, they said, "Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of rewards after I did that." I was like, well, guess I might have to put it on somewhere in the background and not watch. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I think that
um,
that's cool for like as an option, but I feel
mm-hmm,
like they should have another option that does not require you to watch people on Switch or Twitch.
mm-hmm. I am
Um,
of the wild opinion that if you play the game, you should take the rewards.
no, no, no. This is a Marvel game. They have to put it in five different places so that
Mm,
you has to be some stuff you only get from, because
mm-hmm.
they got TV shows, they got this.
Yeah,
We're not in phase one
yeah,
anymore. We're in phase,
yeah. It's whatever.
yeah.
We're I'll tell you what phase we're in phase Fantastic Four's coming. That's what phase. And
Oh
have
God, is
you
it?
yeah, so have you seen anything about it?
No.
So it's coming this year. We got the Fantastic Four, and I don't know if you've seen the cast, but Pedro Pascal is Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, I'm watching it.
I knew that's why I brought it up, because I knew I'd sell you right away. So and just a side note about that. I obviously I love Pedro Pascal because who on
Yeah,
earth doesn't? Because he's an incredible human and actor.
yeah.
So I'm all down for that, and getting more Latino acting, whatever. That's great, right?
Hmm.
The only small qualm I have is it's Mr. Fantastic, who I in my head should be the most wonder bread white boy pasty nerd ever. But what can we do?
But that's
It's
Captain
Pedro
America.
Pascal.
Captain America is the one that's supposed to be Wonder Bread.
Yeah, that's true. Oh well. I mean,
But I guess
who
it's this
cares?
is DC, isn't it? This is like a completely different.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's fine. It's Pedro Pascal, so I'm not going to complain in the end, right? Like, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's this
Yeah.
summer, I think. Look up the trailer. Looks good. Looks fun. Yeah, Fantastic Four is going to be big. They're pushing it. Like in Marvel Rivals, we already got the Fantastic Four this month, and good stuff. Anyways, yeah, and that's what we've been up to, and that's all I got to report.
Cool.
And with that, let's get to what other people have to report and talk about some game news. Starting starting with a new game.
Wait, are
One
we in the
called
new game section or are we in the
is Elusive not a new game, or
We've talked about it. So new game,
have
I
we?
think,
Okay,
yeah, new game is when we haven't talked about it before, but we have talked about elusive. So this is
okay, we have. Oh yeah,
the
you're right.
game about Mika and the Witches that's developed by the creator of Mika and the Witches Mountain. And it's like little fairy folk. I think the Al mentioned the Borrowers. I don't know if you ever saw the Borrowers, but it's like
I'm familiar. It's like a faint memory. I'm familiar. Yeah.
yeah, it's like little fairy folk that like live in people's homes and they just take like one thing at a time. So you never really notice that something's missing, but they're avoiding dangers. I think there's like a cat and like that kind of stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
Tiny Honey, I Shrunk the Kid adventures. We know the drill.
I don't
So
know, people
let's
might not know what I Shrunk the Kids is anymore.
no, no, don't say that. No.
Kids, if you don't know what it is, Google it.
Oh.
But what's the news with Elusive? What do we got?
Cue the cue the was it Principal Skinner? No, it's the children who are wrong.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, the news that we got a Kickstarter. It is launching soon, March. What was it, March 5th?
Fifth.
Well, actually, so I guess day
The
after this episode. No,
No, it
the
should be the
day it
day of the
drops.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're hearing this, it'll be live. Check it out. It does look cool. At least all the art and stuff. We got it for Switch 1 and 2. Look at that. Right there, labeled. Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Um, Yeah, it's got a very lovely art style as expected from the Mika crew or is it just one? I don't know, whatever. It's a nice art style.
Hmm.
Is this actually Chibig? Do we know? I don't know if it is.
I don't know if it's Chibig or if it's just specifically. Wait, Chibig isn't Mika.
Is Chibig's Mika?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah.
Chibig. You're right. You're
Because
right.
if it is Chibig,
I think maybe it's only one of the people who are in Chibig.
yeah,
Because if you
I'm
go
not
on
sure.
the Kickstarter, it only has one person's
Abraham
name.
Kozar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Abraham Kozar.
yeah.
Um,
So this might not be Chibig, which is a shame because that would be a great setup for Chibik loves their little crossovers or
yeah. I mean,
references,
so
and
it
that would
says
be
on
fun.
the Kickstarter, indie game developer currently working in elusive at Chibig.
Mm,
So I
okay.
guess we can say Chibig. I don't
Question mark.
know.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm just saying because there's like a witch's cat. They specifically mentioned that.
Hmm.
So will that be a Mika thing? Maybe? Question mark. Keep an eye out. Obviously details will be up when you hear this. We don't know what it is, but check it out.
Hmm.
All right. You can also be checking out Agrabah because that's coming to Disney Dreamlight Valley. Um, a whole new world. Why are they calling it Tales of Agrabah and not call it a whole new world or something?
I wonder
But
if there's like, I wonder if a whole new world is like too broad now. So many.
I guess they played themselves. They got but yeah, Tales of Agrabah free update. You get to ride the carpet. That's is that all that matters? Mostly. Um,
No, so there's a lot of different things. I don't know if you get to ride the carpet, but you can get carpet
oh
as
yeah.
a person, like as a familiar companion's the word that they use.
They have a character riding the carpet in the trailer. I don't know.
Oh, it's probably in the Aladdin realm. But
Uh
yeah, so it adds the Aladdin realm, it adds Aladdin and Jasmine. It also adds they showed like new things, new premium items in the shop, and there was a bunch of Winnie the Pooh stuff, which was kind of a now for something completely different moment,
yeah.
but okay.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I think it's adorable. It's so funny. This is another
Okay.
tangent. Think of Winnie the Pooh and like what character did you identify as a child?
Okay. I was about to ask you who's your favorite from the Hundred Acre Wood crew. I was
Well,
about to ask almost this exact question.
okay, so as a child, I
Yes.
identified with Tigger.
Tigger.
And then as a teenager slash young adult, I identified with Eeyore.
Yeah, well, sure,
And
sure.
now I'm
I think we're
Rabbit.
all. Oh, I see the trajectory. I was just saying, aren't we all Eeyores now? No, I see the rabbits. You're right, rabbits.
No,
I
I'm
see.
Rabbit. But
Yeah, I
it's
see it.
yeah, but I guess
Um,
it's really funny because they all represent different
yeah,
uh
archetypes, personality types, whatever you
it's
want to
like
call
disorders though. So like
them.
Eeyore is
Sort of
depression,
specific.
Tigger's ADD or ADHD, and then Rabbit I think is either OCD or plus anxiety.
Sure. I mean, yeah, Piglet's anxiety. Piglet is anxiety.
Oh, right,
Rabbit
Piglet's
is
anxiety.
Rabbit's OCD.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rabbit's OCD. What about
what
you?
is poo? What is poo?
Pooh is probably like the neurotypical of the group.
Oh, is that what it is?
So
Oh,
I guess he's forgetful. I don't
I
know.
guess I don't know.
Listeners,
Um,
write in. What do you think Pooh is?
what what mental
And who
health
did you identify as?
disorders?
But no, Kev, so as a kid, like,
Um,
have you gone through a trajectory of different characters or have you stayed
I
same?
mean, like, no, like when I was younger, I would probably identify with two at best.
Okay.
I would say so, like, right, because that's different from my favorite or whatever, right?
Right.
But when thinking about it, I probably would have said poo.
Okay.
But like now, Eeyore, when that, oh, Eeyore,
Yep.
the the agony of the little stick house just being knocked
Get
over
knocked
every
over.
episode.
Oh,
Oh, oh,
bother.
it's, I get it, I get it. Oh man,
It's so
oh bother
true.
indeed.
Our country's the stick house. Anyway, there's
Oh, my
also
life is the stick.
no, Kevin.
Also, did you know he's the voice of Optimus Prime?
That's amazing.
Yeah, just fun fact for people.
See, so
Um,
you can either die
Your
The
poet, I
Eeyore,
believe.
or you can live long enough to see yourself become Optimus Prime.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. They also, back to Disney Dreamlight Valley, they also added a slow cooker in Tiana's shop. And so this allows you to kind of like set and forget meals.
Oh, that's such a good update.
Yeah. So they added a lot of really cool things in this update. So they also added you can now search through the meals. So if ever you're supposed to do something or like you really want to make a certain meal, or
Yeah.
someone wants a specific meal, but it's not technically a quest, so you can't go to like the quest tab. You can now just search for it, which is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
And
What?
then they
Yeah, yeah.
also
Needed.
added if you any item that is a character's favorite item for the day now has a label next to it. So in your inventory. I'm wondering if it also has it in the cooking menu, which would be amazing because then you could be like, oh, let's see who wants what today. Oh, yep, I really want to work on my aerial reputation, so I'm going to make her the meal she wants today or whatever. But it's just so good because I would always have to like mentally like separate my inventory and be like, okay, this is the part that is is the items that this person wants and like kind of try and keep track of it.
Yeah.
And y'all
Bring
know
out the notebook, the
I
handy dandy
literally had to
notebook.
write it down. I had like 15 pages out of one notebook that were just dedicated to here's this character's favorite thing. Okay, here's a check mark because I've got it, and then here's a check mark because I gave it to them.
Mm-hmm.
It was so
So
goofy.
on the one hand, I've always found something, I don't know, cathartic, or I enjoy getting out a notebook and writing things down.
Yes.
I find it appeal like that. But on the other hand, like I also wish the game would help you keep track of that, so you didn't have to physically bring out a notebook or whatever. But
Yeah.
so it's appreciated. And yeah, spoilers. What I know of a game that actually does let you do that. Bring a notebook in the game. But
Oh.
gets a bit later.
Oh.
Um,
Okay. Cool. Cool.
but that's good stuff. That sounds like good update. And
Hmm.
one more thing. It's I think a blessing and a curse we don't get to see Genie, right? Because
Yeah.
Robin Williams set him free with his last wish. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
Wow.
you really like that Genie though, right?
Well, and so I actually recently watched the Aladdin movies again because I hadn't seen them in a long
Yes.
time, and I love King of Thieves, and so which is the third one.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't know that they replaced Genie in the second one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And well, because Robin Williams didn't agree to it or something. Oh, because
Hmm.
he in the first movie he's like, I'll do this, but like I don't want like genie themed merch or anything.
Yep.
He like
Yep. He didn't want
specifically
focus
didn't
on Genie. Yeah.
didn't want it to be that, and then there was a bunch of it, and so he like protested the
Hmm.
second movie, but then it wasn't the same, and so he came back for the third one, and it's
Yeah.
honestly he just is genie. He just
I
brings.
mean, like supposedly he didn't have a script for the first one, so yes,
He didn't, yeah.
it quite literally is all his
They
creation.
were they were just like say whatever, we will animate it.
Yeah.
It's
So
amazing.
yes,
He's
that
just
is,
such a loss, but also yeah. Anyway, he was an amazing
yeah,
actor.
he is a
Um,
treasure.
for sure.
But yeah, and then for people who don't know, later, I don't know if it was when he passed away or at some point before, shortly before, he basically like legally said, okay, you can't use my likeness for Genie anymore. Which is
Okay.
why anytime you will see Aladdin stuff, you will never see Genie stuff because
Mm-hmm.
they can't use his voice
Mm-hmm.
likeness or whatever. Um,
Well, I wonder if they were to bring Genie into Disney Dreamlight Valley, if they would do like a Will Smith version then,
mm,
because he was the genie in the live action.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's the only way you could do it. Huh.
So
That's a thought.
yeah.
Oh, I like Aladdin. Did you? So one thing, it was cut, but it was a fan theory about something that was cut and eventually confirmed later. So people may not remember, the entire thing is actually framed by a the original Aladdin movie. There's a merchant, the merchant at the beginning who's telling
Yeah.
you the story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was cut from the movie, and fans theorized it forever because there's little hints. That merchant is supposed to be the genie as well. I don't know if you caught that or knew about
I
that.
mean, the voice is this he is the
Yep,
voice.
it's Robin
Yeah.
Williams, but also
Yeah.
he's the only character who has four fingers other than Genie.
Oh, okay. I thought that
Yeah,
he just voiced that character as well,
yeah,
but that's hilarious.
yeah. Good stuff. I like that.
Because my mom and I
Uh,
would we would quote that all the time, like, will not break, will not break. It broke. Like, it's one of in the first movie
yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
that. It is so funny.
All right, what's next? Who's gonna try to follow up Robin Williams and Genie?
Well, it's a
Traveler's
real
Rest
simple one.
is
It's Traveler's Rest.
um. So this is an interesting one because they have the online multiplayer update, which is that's a big deal for any game, really, right?
Yeah.
And at first I was like, okay, sure, you got the Stardew, you're growing things and fishing and doing all these things together. But the one that interests me, the highlight in my opinion, so when you're actually running the inn slash tavern in Traveler's Rest, you now
Hmm.
have four people running that together. So
Hmm.
almost an overcooked like feel. Obviously, well, not that level of chaos, but
Yeah.
that is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
I'm a
Still haven't played
very
Travelers.
I don't want people messing with my setup though. So like I'd be
What was
like,
that rabbit?
get out of my Oh no. Yeah. That was one of my friends just moved into my spare room and he reorganized I told him I was like, "Go ahead and reorganize cupboards. I don't really care." And then I opened the cupboards today and I was like, "Oh no, I care." He already reorganized them, so I have to I just have to find a way to make it okay.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Oh my god.
so
Oh
wild.
man. That sounds like another rabbit movie.
Yeah,
Rabbit
exactly.
spare.
I'm learning, I think. Well, yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm learning I might need to add OCD to my list of qualifications. What do you want to call it?
The
But
labels, the identifiers.
my identifiers. It's so stupid. I was also talking to for the conference there's a conference I'm going to in November, and I'm running a workshop on neurodivergence in entomology, which is my field.
Okay.
Super excited about it, and I
Should you
got
just is
I got
the
it's
summary
just
we're
me.
studying bugs? Is it we're all
That's the thing. Like we all are pretty much neurodivergent in some way, shape, or fashion. There's very few
Yeah.
neurotypicals in entomology, but a lot of people, there's still a stigma. Like a lot of people just don't know that they
Yeah.
either don't know that they are neurotypical because we're getting a lot of late in life diagnoses.
Yeah, sure.
But we also just are once we know, we don't want to disclose it because it's a shameful thing, quote unquote. Like, right? Like the world has made it seem as though it's a bad thing to not be neurotypical, but
Yeah.
it's actually kind of a superpower to know, okay, that's not the right wording, but like to know about yourself that you are not
Hmm.
neurotypical so you can release yourself from those expectations
Sure, sure.
because then you're not as like why am I lazy? Why am I stupid? Like, oh no, I just have a different brain. I just think different.
Yeah, there
Um,
you go. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that applies to what field
yeah.
you're in, absolutely.
All of this to
Uh
say, I was talking to the person who's going to do the OCD seminar or
yeah.
OCD talk or whatever on it. And I was like, oh no. I was like, what makes an OCD person? And she was telling me, I was like, oh no. The worst. But yeah, Traveler's Rest. If you do not have OCD, or if you're fine with sharing control, you can now do that in the online multiplayer. It's out now, in the
Yep.
0.7 update. That's that.
That's that. Hey, Cody, you're talking about research symposiums and researchers. You want to tell us about research story?
Yeah, you sure can. So Research Story has the 0.12 update, and this update adds powered chests. Woo! So that is
All right.
basically like,
Wait, dude,
sorry, go for it.
what does that mean?
So basically, like, think of Minecraft and like hoppers, so
Oh,
that
okay.
if you
They
have
organize.
something going, well, it's maybe
Hmm.
it's not hoppers isn't the right word. I don't remember what exactly it is, but like you
Are they
have,
sorting automatically? Or
I don't know if it sorts automatically, but it automatically like runs something. So say you have a a furnace, you're pumping coal into it, you're trying to make
hmm.
something, whatever. Um, you don't have to keep going back and like emptying it and then refilling it with the new stuff. The powered chest will just automatically like put things in and take things out so that
Okay.
you can just like dump the input resources in and then take the output resources that you want and then just leave it. You don't have to like go to all of these things. It just makes it a bit easier for the automation side, and less, what do we call that? Management, UI manager. I don't remember exactly what Al calls
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
yeah, less of the managing and more of the playing the game and getting the
That
resources you need.
so,
Um,
that's cool. One of the coolest things I think Minecraft's always has ever done is basically introduce circuitry
mhm.
logic in the game, right? So anything that kind of goes in that direction. And this might not be that advanced, but the idea of these automated things that kind of sort things and set up. You put the inputs and it does the thing for
Mhm.
you. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I feel like you could probably set up a chain. So like if you need to create one thing with one crafting thing,
Hmm.
um, and then that becomes an input for the next one, I think you'd probably just put them next to each other and put a powered chest between them or something. I'm not entirely sure. But that it opens the possibility for that kind of automation and that kind of like setup, which is also very Factorio.
Right,
Um,
right.
but I am here for it. I like it. They've also added a couple other things. There's a new UI rework that they did. I think it looks really crisp. They basically incorporated a lot of feedback that test players or users or whatever you want, people who have been playing the demo or the early access, they've been saying like, hey, this is a little clunky. And so they've incorporated that. We love getting responses to our feedback. That is amazing. Thank you.
Mhm.
They also added 7 new hair options in the red orange spectrum. Again, people were like, my hair color is represented. And so they made sure to incorporate more colors that represent that spectrum. And finally, this is also currently 20% off until March 9th for the Women's Day sale. So
Yeah,
currently
that's all
only
good stuff.
it's only a 13.99 game to begin with, but now it's 11.19 and it is an early access, but it's a pretty cute little game. And
Yeah.
getting it supports the developers to making the studio to, continue to make and continue to be able to incorporate community feedback, which is amazing.
Yeah. That's all good stuff.
Hmm.
There you go. And again, you got till March 9th to get down. So good stuff. Good for you, Research Story. All that sounds excellent.
I just want them to make a Mac one. It'll probably come later, like either a Mac port or
Well, they're still in early
Switch.
access. I imagine at the 1.0 they'll dip into new consoles
Yeah, that's all I
systems.
want in the world, really.
Oh,
I would die happy if that's all, if I got that, you know.
well, I consider it likely.
Okay, cool.
At least Switch. All right. Next up, we got more DLCs and updates. We got Horticular with the Frozen Frontier DLC. Okay, so
Mhm.
now, well, this is one of the things where we got like two aspects to it. There is a 1.4 update for the base game, but there's also this Frozen Frontier, which is an expansion, a separate DLC that you have to pay to buy.
Mhm.
They got a bundle for whatever, but Horticular is on sale right now on Steam at least for 35% off. Pretty nice discount from 20 USD to 13 USD. Um, and then you can add on your DLCs and all that good stuff. But yeah, Frozen Frontier, as the name would imply, we get snow stuff, right? Um, we get snow mechanics, a whole bunch of new animals. There's like a turkey, it's a new kind of squirrel, chipmunk. I don't know. We get frost sentinel, some weird snowman robot thing. Um, I don't
Out of
know
a
what's going
horror
on.
story.
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of it has
Thinking of a
terrifying
snowman.
expression.
I think sentinel is just such a scary word for like a snowman because it implies like that there's danger that you are being protected from or something. I don't know.
It's it is very possible. I don't know. There's this like no I don't know what it is, some kind of you're talking to a frostinel or something, and it has code words and sentinel routines, first and
Yep.
final warning. So you might be right. I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, it adds a lot. The expansion adds a lot of stuff. Some new mechanics to deal with temperature and stuff like that, which is kind of cool.
Hmm.
New enemies and new stuff like that.
Yeah, new
Um,
animals. I really liked in the trailer like the turkey. So there's like snow on the ground and the turkey's like walking through the snow. And
yeah,
as you walk like through the snow, it like clears it for you.
yeah,
It
yeah.
also said that somewhere in the release or something I saw it said something like um snow will form when the temperature is low enough or something. So I'm
Hmm.
wondering if there's like a temperature scale and
That's what it looks like.
yeah, which is
Because I
super
said that
cool.
there's like because you're playing as a wizard, right? So there's spells to help manage the temperatures too.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's fun to be able to control that mechanic. Because normally, it's just in most of these games, it's just wait for winter and oh, there's your snow.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
to be able to actually manipulate that to change the terrain and so that is pretty fun. Um, and because the way horticular is the kind of isometric grid thing, like you'll have tiles of snow next to not snow areas and all sorts of stuff. It looks like a pretty beefy expansion overall.
Mm.
I am obviously played horticular, so I'm not appreciating all of it, but I can see that it looks like there's a lot here.
Yeah.
Um, and there is also just like I mentioned, a 1.4 update to the base game. They looks like they actually the temperature mechanics are in the base game as well.
Mm.
There's one new animal, a couple new plants. Um, let's see what else there is. There's a handful of other improvements. You can go on the same page and see the whole list when
Yeah.
the link and whatnot. But yeah. Overall, looks like a pretty big update slash expansion. Looks pretty fun.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, good for you, Horticula. Looks like another solid update thing. Um, okay. Let's see here. Next up, this is an update to everyone's wallets, and you're getting less in your wallet.
Is
That's
it
the update.
is it called an is it an update if it's that you lose money or is that a downgrade?
It's a nerf. I mean, you can have
It's a
negative
nerf.
updates. Yeah, your wallet's getting everyone's wallet's getting nerfed. Because good old
Concerned
fan
Ape
gamer.
doing it again.
Yep, teaming up with Concerned Ape and Stardew to bring us more Stardew Valley merch. We have all right, going down the list. We have the Stardew Valley Deluxe Edition for Nintendo Switch, full $60. It includes a mini farm deed, a Junimo pin, a special 16-page mini comic, some art cards, and a fold-out poster, along with an instruction booklet. Um, that's a lot of stuff. Uh,
I miss when you could go to like GameStop and just buy like the strategy guides.
yeah. They do have strategy guide. Well, maybe not GameStop because GameStop's just Funko. So maybe you
Yeah,
did
it's
get
basically just online now. It's always just
um
online versus like a
well there are
physical.
they have the thing is it's no longer Prima games doing it, right? It's usually
Mm,
like a big fancy collector's like hardcover strategy guide.
hmm
Um I think they still exist, but I don't think they're out for every game now. That is
hmm
part of the problem. But it's definitely more of a collector's thing. But hey, at least you get an instruction guide, so that's really cute. And all the artwork is just gorgeous and all the stuff here in the deluxe edition.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of different names of people I don't know, but clearly talented and have uh, worked on other. Wait, there is a graphic novel called Before the Farmer. What is it? I'm sorry. I'm just reading. That's one of the people who did the art. They worked on a well, Before the Farmer graphic novel, which apparently started related. I had no idea about that. Okay.
Wow.
Um, and again, this is all just the deluxe edition. That's just item one on this fan game.
Hmm.
We have a jigsaw puzzle, which is very what a great idea. The art is very cute. It has I don't think all the villagers, but it has all the romanceables, it looks like, and just
Hmm.
animals and also very cute, cozy art. We have a patchwork throw blanket. That's kind of wild that they did that, but there you go.
Hmm.
It fits, it works, right? Because you got
And
the
the just to say the puzzle is $26 USD and the
ah throw
blanket is
blanket
45.
USD. We have a bento box for 20. A void farmer spinning charm keychain, which is just like a keychain filled with charms of void
Yeah.
chicken and egg, and void sword blade. I don't know. It's all void colored and void stuff.
Hmm.
15 but USD for that. The Stardew Valley guidebook for $32 USD. This appears to be the strategy guide. What you're
Hmm.
just asking about. It
Yeah.
is. Uh,
Is that new or is that I think
that
the
is new.
last new thing was the Void
Is
Farmer
that
spinning
new? Wait,
keychain.
let me see. Oh wait, no, you might be right now. This
That's
might
the
be.
last thing that says new.
Oh yeah, you got a point. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to the list now. Okay, well that's all the new stuff.
There is still really cute stuff though
There
on
is.
this like
There's your Krobus
yeah,
plush. That's a good one.
vinyl
Uh,
set.
yeah, cross stitch guide. That makes a lot of sense.
I really
Like
like the Pierre General Store tote bag. That's just like anyway, there's all kinds of stuff here, y'all.
Joja Cola glass. It's pretty good.
That puzzle is so I love puzzles. It's tempting, but I won't.
Tempting indeed. Um, so yeah, that's again all that's on Fan Gamer. We already had a lot of Stardew stuff. There's a whole lot of new stuff. Yeah, go check it out. It's pretty good. All right, now let's finally get onto new games.
Mhm.
We only have three. Okay, we
Three.
have two and a half. Or is that,
Yeah,
okay,
we'll say two and a
two,
half.
two and a half. Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that.
The first one is called Opidum. Opidum? It has two P's. I don't know how to. And then
I
there's some
don't know.
corresponding.
I literally have been reading this as opidium, but there's definitely not another I there, so it's definitely like opidum.
Yeah,
Opidum? Whatever.
one of those two. So, we have here. Honestly, it feels Foul World-esque, I would say.
Okay.
It's open world 3D, like the sandboxy. Clearly, you're running around. You're fighting a lot of monsters, but you're also
Yeah, I
going
thought it was giving
crops.
Zelda. Like I was getting very Breath of the Wild
Sure, sure.
vibes
Yeah,
personally.
I can see that. It's somewhere between a little more because Zelda, you obviously you still have plot and quests and whatever, right? So it's
Hmm.
like this feels a little more sandboxy than that.
Hmm.
Um, I was just saying, just like visually, it reminds me of Power a lot. But I see
Yeah.
the Zelda inspirations a lot because yes, you're fighting, you're swinging swords,
Well, and then you
you're
look at the
fishing.
character, like look at
Yeah, the
the
way they have their shield and stuff. Yeah.
there's a shield, but also like just like in the picture on the right on Steam, like there's someone with a pickaxe, but they're wearing like a green belted tunic.
Yeah, you're right. You're right
It's
there.
like-
That is a
Anyway.
green tunic, and that has largely been claimed by Link. Sorry, world, but yeah.
Yeah. It,
Um,
I don't know, it looks cute. The blurb on Steam is quote, face the challenges of Opidum, a survival adventure for 1 to 4 players with a unique story waiting to be unraveled. Build a camp, collect everything a fantastic land can offer, and use it to push forward through the island. A world hanging by a thread needs your help. Will you answer the call? And my answer is no. I have
I
demand.
probably won't either.
Well, I don't
I
know if
don't.
it's, I just have demand avoidance. So they said they're like trying to guilt
Uh,
trip me into answering the call. And I'm like, no, I was thinking about it before, but now you've asked and I'm not going to do it. No, I don't know. We'll see. It looks really cute. Um,
um, yeah.
it's slated for, they say just Q1 2025. So, we shall see, question mark. Um,
Yeah, I was about to say, do they understand that means like now?
within the next like 3 months, two
Yeah,
months, 3 months.
I don't know, but yeah, that's very soon.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's all I can think. Okay. Um, but yeah, check that out if you want. That is an Opidum. Um, let's see. Next up, oh, here we go again. Just there's a lot of mistakes being made here, but anyways, it's
Oh,
called
okay.
Ashwood It's called Ashwood Valley.
Okay.
It's an announcement trailer. It's for Switch. Um, First of all, okay, it's just an animated trailer. We don't actually even see gameplay, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Likely a good sense of what the gameplay will be like, though, because here, let me read the blurb first of all.
Hmm.
A whoops, hold on, I'll like close it on myself. Good job, me. Um, no, where'd it go? Okay, it is a new farming game with a magical twist is on the horizon. This pixel-themed story from the team of Tell Me Your Story and Cook for Love will appear on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation.
And it
Here
says
you will
will
take
appear this year.
okay,
They are,
yeah,
yeah.
this
We'll
year,
see. We'll see.
yeah. Here you will take on the role of a magical kid trying to save their sibling from being permanently transformed into a fluffy feline.
That
Okay.
not realistic.
So yeah, clearly the announcement trailer, you have the siblings, and there's a magical portal that opens up because they found a wand and cast a spell or something. And 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 so all right, there's the premise, but here's the thing. This is a very starting game. I tried not to get to it, but your second word is Valley, and
Uh-huh.
that art aesthetic, that is a Stardew Valley game. I'm sorry.
Noun Valley.
Yeah,
Should we just
Noun
start calling
Valley.
them Noun
It
Valley?
is Noun Valley. Absolutely. Oh, that's good. I love that. Yep, another entry into the Noun Valley. Uh, a new farming game with a magical twist because hasn't been done lately. So, oh,
I just laugh that like they say that you're trying to save your sibling from permanently being transformed into a fluffy feline. Anyone that has siblings is like, especially because these are kids. Like it's
yeah,
not like they're adults trying to save their adult sibling. These are children.
yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna make you a cat and then I'm gonna make you play with me as a cat. Like they're not gonna
I
be
mean,
thinking they're gonna be
my
like,
first response is to laugh. Absolutely.
like yeah, like if you were like a young child and you heard that you could turn Calvin into a cat, like
Yeah.
you're not gonna stop that. It's funny.
Oh,
And then also like so basically it just seems like you go through a mirror into the valley. This valley, you rebuild a house there, you befriend local animals. They mention mushroom chickens and strawberry cows. Um, I don't know. It doesn't, there's not a ton of information here.
yeah.
It looks okay. I would like to hear more.
Yeah, I feel so bad because like clearly there's a lot of work being put into this. I'm not saying it's a bad game or
Right.
pitch or whatever. It's just it's a very uphill valley. This is a very crowded space, right? So
It's a lovely addition into the Noun Valley ecosystem. If you are
exactly.
not saturated with Noun Valley games,
That is correct.
yeah,
Uh, but if you are saturated with Noun Valley, why don't you head over to the opposite end of the spectrum
literally.
over on Farming Simulator World? Now more simulator than ever because they announced Farming Simulator VR, um, which makes a lot of sense because I mean those games were first person anyways, right? And
Hmm.
and here you are doing all your farm work, maintenance. You're picking up drills and working on tractors and stuff like that.
I mean,
Um,
if this is appealing to you, just become a farmer. Just do
it's
it. Like
it
we need
it
more
is
food.
it is. You know what? On the one hand, you're absolutely right because you're very clearly doing all the farm things. Wow, those are very detailed instrument
It's
panels
very
on the
detailed.
tractor. Like this is this, yeah, we are getting as close as
Yeah.
we can. It's the simulator reality barrier is growing very thin here.
Hmm.
Um, I will say it is probably cheaper than
Fair.
becoming a farmer,
Fair.
but if you know, if you want maybe a road test, there you go. Learn how to drive a tractor. Learn how to.
If you're saving up your money to become a farmer, to be able to buy a farm and buy the equipment that you need, this is a great game to teach you how to do it because you're
Hey,
pretty much doing exactly everything.
you are fueling that tractor. I do.
You are putting fuel into it. You are gassing up. If
Yeah.
you live in either New Jersey or Oregon and you have never put gas in anything yourself because someone else pumps your gas for you, you can have that experience in this game.
There you go. Um, okay. So let's see. Yeah, that is, I don't know what VR system it actually is for. I'm
It's for
trying to, oh,
meta.
Meta. Oh, yes, yeah, now. Okay, Meta. Only 25 bucks, not bad for,
Yeah.
honestly, that looks like a pretty decent amount of content in game for 25 bucks.
You
If
just
you
have
have
to
the
have
Meta.
the meta.
Yeah. Keep the big asterisk there, Chris. Oh, but there you go.
Yeah,
That
it's out. It's
is,
already out. So
oh my gosh, there you
if this is
go.
interesting to you, go for it.
Like Farming Simulator is not well, I've never actually played one, but I think this is actually cool. Like it's
Hmm.
the logical, I think, next step in that series, and I think
Hmm.
it works. Um, so yeah, I'm sure there are Farming Simulator people very excited for that. So and good for you guys. All right, there we go. I think that's it. We've covered the news, the new games.
We did it.
So let's get into Cinnabunny. All right. So
To
for people.
recap, I did not play this.
Okay. I have played it in over a week, however long it's been.
Okay.
Um, it's only again only on Steam currently. So I'm playing it there. It has controller support, so
Mm.
that's already great. This is by again Reki Studios, I
Yeah.
believe, who is from what I recall a one man show, or at least the Cinnabunny is.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's a very important element to keep in mind. Not, I'm not because like any weaknesses or whatever. On the contrary, like this is insane that when I did all this. Um, but okay, Cinnabunny. The premise is simple. You live on a farm with your bunny family, and and there is a drought, so you're sent out to what is the place called? Sugar Burrow something? I can't remember exactly. You're
Now
sent to a
Nan
new village.
Valley.
Almost now Valley. It's Burrow because they're bunnies. I remember that. But
Hmm.
is it Sugar Do Burrow? Maybe. Um,
Could be.
but you are sent to New Valley to help find a new home for your family. Um, and so you meet a new village full of bunnies. And you're starting a bakery because that's what your family also does, baking. And so you now have to save up enough money to move your family out to your new home. All the while running your little bakery and meeting the villagers and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Okay, so just at a glance visually, I think the game's beautiful. It's it's a realistic-ish art style. It's not particularly cartoony or anything. The bunnies are realistic looking. They're hopping around on all fours and whatnot. Um, uh, it's Yeah, I like it's straightforward, I would say almost.
Hmm.
Because it's not a particularly like strong art style or direction, but that's okay. I think it works for what they're going for here. Um, because you still have all the bunnies talking, and you still have a few other things, like you have a few robots running around and fun little elements like that. Like I know the word cozy is poisoned now, but
Yep.
I do actually think that fits this game. The music is very chill and relaxing. It's just a very scenic, uh, serene sort of little valley with all the little cute little bunnies. So, this is a game that actually relaxes me, believe it or not.
Okay. Lovely.
Um, yeah. So already like thumbs up for that because I feel like a lot of games that claim to be cozy struggle to
Hmm.
actually be cozy, right? Like, but this one is really well done. And again, one man show, I think everything looks super impressive. Um,
Hmm.
so now let's get into it. The game is it feels both not terribly big, but also a lot to it. Like it's a weird way to describe it, but like so for instance, the game is just set in the village largely, right? There's like two other areas you can go to. There's a little forest and a mine you can explore, but
Hmm.
the like square footage that you're exploring is not terribly big compared to other games. Um, so, kind of within that small space, but you start to quick discover there's a lot you can do, right? You got farming, you got your baking stuff, you got the mining, gathering stuff, bird watching, catching robots. I'll get all the into details on all this, but it's still all kind of centered around this little village. And I think that's very much the core of the gameplay loop, the village and the villagers. Because there is being the baker, you give stuff to the villagers that you make and whatnot, and that's how you unlock other recipes and equipment for you to make new things. And you want to keep doing that so you can make money to or carrots, the money's carrots
Hmm.
to be able to bring your family over, yada yada, etc. Um,
Hmm.
and so the village itself, I think, is decently sized. I'd probably say maybe a bit smaller than Stardew sized. There's a good number, I'd say 20 bunnies or so off the
Hmm.
bat. And they all have their own personal tastes, and you have to figure that out. And possibly one of my favorite elements in this game is there is an in-game notebook. So if I give a bunny a piece of flatbread, let's just say,
Hmm.
they will make a comment, "Oh, this is nice, but I prefer this flavor. I prefer a fruity flavor, or I prefer
Hmm.
muffins, or whatever."
Hmm.
And so then you can pause, you can go to your notebook, and you can jot down that Anita the bunny likes muffins or whatever, or they
Yeah.
dislike this thing. So you can just keep it on track. You can keep track of all of that in game, which is just so nice,
So what
so
does that
nice.
what does that look like? Like, do you have to type that out?
It's no, it's like so you go to a menu. There's in one of the menus, there's just a list of all your the villagers, right? You go to the villager,
Hmm.
and then you put new entry in the notebook, and it says, okay, they either like, or you can click like and switches to dislike, and then the third option is, okay, do you want to talk about their flavor or type of
Hmm.
bread or whatever? So you're just going through different options, kind of like Mad Libs, if you will, where you're just filling in and making a string of words.
Hmm.
Um, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that's cool
yeah,
that it basically like has everything like pre-put in. You just have to do drop
yes,
down menus and like pick what you
yeah,
want.
that's right. Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah, yeah. It's great. So yeah, you don't have to type it out or whatever, right? Because if this were to come out on say Switch or whatever, you probably don't have a keyboard. Um, so I think that's fantastic. And like I said, you keep track of that. Um, Probably the biggest choke point, for lack of a better word, is you can only gift a bunny one thing a day.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so you have to wait till the next in-game day to try again to kind of, trying to refine or figure out exactly what they like or don't like. And also the baking kind of limits you because um I don't know it's like Stardew Valley Clock where a day takes X number of minutes, real-time minutes or whatever. I don't know it's actually probably close to Stardew's clock on the rate, but the baking takes you can probably only bake when you start off maybe two or three things a day.
Hmm.
Just because it takes X number of in-game hours to actually bake whatever you're making. So you prepare the dough and then you put it in the oven and you have to come back 6 hours later or whatever. So at the very beginning, you're making very little in terms of like volume, and you're making two or three pieces of bread to give to neighbors to figure out what they want a day. So it takes some time. Um, but as you make some progress, you expand and unlock more stuff. So
Hmm.
you can start baking like two things at once or three things at once or whatever, right? And of course, there's the different recipes because you can make a lot of different breads. You can make like baguettes, milk bread, pies, muffins, pastries, savories. I've I don't think I've even done like quarter of the recipes because there's a lot, it looks like.
Hmm.
Um uh and so there's a lot to explore. And of course that all goes hand in hand with the foraging um because you can add stuff. Now, you of course have your basic stuff like you get wheat, right? And wheat and water. You get wheat, you grind it up in a little grinder to make flour, and then you add water, and that's how you make your very basic bread, right?
Hmm.
It all kind of extrapolates from there, right? You get different pieces of equipment. You get a yeast maker, you get a sourdough starter, you get dishware to make pie tins and stuff like that. So you get all these pieces of equipment to make your different styles of bread, but also the ingredients, right? You can
Hmm.
start adding in ingredients like berries or chocolate or cinnamon or spices or whatever to add to change the flavors. To again to kind of fit whatever you think will fit the neighbor's tastes. Um, and so to get that stuff, you have to either go foraging around or there's a little market in town run by some of the other bunnies, and so you can just check out what's there every day and buy up what you need. Um, but so that's kind of the loop for the baking. You set
Hmm.
your stuff to bake, you go out and look for ingredients or whatnot, and then you come back and you get the next thing going.
Okay,
Um,
so that's one of the four. There's like four skills that you can have, right?
right,
Like
right,
what?
yeah. There's a
And
handful of skills, and you level them up. Like as you
yeah.
break more bread, you level up the quality of the stuff you make.
Okay, quality
Um,
is what you get
mhm.
from
Yes,
increasing.
for
Cool.
baking, yes. Um, but yes, there's foraging and farming. That's one of the other skills, right? As you
Hmm.
forage, the level increases, and you can find better. Again, you find better quality stuff.
Hmm.
I don't think some of the stuff will even spawn until you hit certain levels of your foraging and whatnot. Farming. So, the farming, like I think I'm still in the early stages of that. It's very straightforward farming. You're just planting the seeds. You don't even have to water. You just have to plant the seeds. And then later you harvest them with a sickle and you get seeds and crops from that, right?
Hmm.
You can grow wheat and oats and a handful of different things. I think the farming stuff what increases is the number of seeds you can get back because initially that's pretty low.
Hmm.
Um, but eventually I think you can start making more from that.
How fast do things grow?
Um, you can harvest once or twice a day, I'd say.
Okay, so
It's
like you plant
it's enough.
wheat and then like the
Hmm.
next day you can get
Yeah,
wheat. Okay,
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's enough to fuel your baking needs,
your
and you can
thriving
also
business.
yeah. And in the market, there is also a vendor who will sell you also wheat and seeds and stuff like that, right? So even if you don't have any on hand, you might see it in the market and you'll be okay. I didn't really feel like a lack of resources for baking stuff, right? Other than maybe the recipes. That's probably the hardest one because
Hmm.
you have to give basically a neighbor something they really like to unlock a recipe. Um,
Hmm.
so that can take a few in-game days as you try to figure out exactly what flavors and type of baked good they liked or whatever.
Hmm.
And then that'll unlock new stuff for you. It's also very cute because when you give them something they really like, you get this little animation of their eyes wide open. Turning from the realistic bunny eyes to these cartoony eyes wide open and the like just what was it like the zoom in of just the flavor explosion they're experiencing.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's really good. Um, yeah, that's
I mean, that's how
um,
I feel whenever anyone gives me like anything that has rosemary and olive oil bread.
right. Yeah, yeah, that sounds exactly what it's like.
Like, yeah, I
Oh
also am
man.
like, oh my
Oh man.
God.
I like so there's this chain called Carrabba's. It's an Italian chain down
Okay.
here, and I think it's mostly in the South still. They just give out this bread, but they have this blend. They give it to you with olive oil and like this blend of spices, and
Hmm.
oh my gosh, that's just heaven every time I have it. Oh, it's so good.
Your little bunny
Um,
eyes just open.
yes, the bunny eyes pop. Let's see if I can find a picture to show you
The
the bunny
bread.
eyes. Oh,
Oh, the bunny eyes. Okay.
yeah, the bunny eyes.
Like,
I mean, I can show you the
show
Carrabba's
me the
bread too.
bread. Uh, so you already mentioned like the villagers and how you give them
Hmm.
things. The next
Yeah.
thing that so like I saw this and this was one of the reasons I really wanted to play this game. But unfortunately, when it came time to it, my finances were unwilling. Bird watching?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about that because these are the two. You get them early on, the two kind of side activities, I
Mm-hmm.
would say. Because like mushroom foraging is also a thing. You have a little mushroom decks, basically. You can
Mm-hmm.
complete. That's just foraging. You just pick up the mushrooms you see on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Bird watching and the recyclabots. So bird watching is, I'm going to say challenging, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
So
it is correct.
yeah. Okay. Here's the thing with bird watching. You are given a pair of binoculars, bird binoculars, I believe they're called.
Yeah,
Um, and what you do is, as you're walking about, you will hear real life bird calls.
that's
Um,
awesome.
and so then you have to, okay, go to your tool wheel, equip the bird binoculars, and you kind of have to start looking around. The thing is, a lot of times they're like either hidden in the grass or up in trees. So you
Mm-hmm.
might walk into them and they'll start flying away. You can still whip out your bird binoculars and zoom in and basically take a picture.
Okay.
Um, but it's real time. The birds are flying away, so you got to move fast.
Yeah.
Um, and and it can be tough to see them because they'll be in tall grass a lot of times, or just in a tree you're not looking at. It
Does it
is challenging,
does it like
and
auto lock on them for you, or do you have to find them?
if you are close, the biggest thing is distance. You have to be close enough. It will
Okay.
auto lock. It will show
Okay.
you a little square, showing like, okay, they are in range. You can take a picture and it will count.
Okay.
Um, the birds spawn depending on the conditions, weather, time, location, etc.
Hmm.
So like if you want to fill that bird dex, that sounds like a pretty challenging thing. Um,
That sounds amazing. I love that.
it
10 out of 10.
I'm sure if you like bird watching, yes, I'm sure that is exactly like what
Yeah.
it should be.
I mean, and
Um,
honestly, sometimes the most difficult thing of bird watching itself is like finding the bird. Like, because you'll hear it, you'll zoom in your binoculars trying to find them, and then you'll not be able to find them because you didn't put your binoculars in the right spot, like, and they're
that is
up higher. And so you have to like figure out how to sight them. Like, okay,
that
where?
is exactly what it's like in the game too.
Yeah. Well, but if it auto locks on them, then it's like that
Well,
kind of
it doesn't.
helps.
It does, yeah. But if you don't have them, like if they're not on the screen,
Yeah.
where are they? I don't know. Got to rotate the camera, try to figure it out.
Yep.
Uh,
And that's the most difficult part for me. Like usually the songs, as long as like I can learn them and then be able to see
yeah.
them and stuff. Oh my God, the eyes being open. I just got it.
I just showed Coney the favorite eyes.
Their eyes are open. Um, but yeah, like that is like the most difficult part of bird watching is the actually sighting them into your binoculars. Sorry, I just call them
Yep.
bins. Whenever I'm
Bins.
bird
Okay.
watching, I just call them bins,
Hmm.
or people call them binos. But for this game,
My
it's
nuts.
they're birdoculars, so
Yeah.
birdos.
Um. So yeah, and yeah. So yeah, honestly, it sounds pretty dang accurate to real life bird watching thing because that's a
Love it,
challenge.
love it.
Um. Yeah. And the fact that they use like the real bird calls is just great. What a fantastic little touch
So
there.
when you increase your skill level with that, what do you get?
I am guessing that is like you'll be able to get rare bird spawns. I have
Okay.
not increased it too much. That one's challenging to level up because the at least at the beginning, it's almost like it just happens and you happen to be there.
Hmm. That's how
Going out
life
to
works.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Going out to try to find the birds is really hard. I have tried it a few
Hmm.
times. They are not easy to find.
I wonder if
Um,
because is there a day-night cycle in this game?
there is,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
It'll
It's
probably be
re
easier
not real
really
time.
early in the morning if they keep it real to
They
life. Then
they
yeah.
tell you that they explicitly say, get up in the morning, you will probably find birds.
Yeah, because they in real
Yeah.
life you have to it's usually
Hmm.
right around sunrise that the birds
That,
start really like advertising and then
yep.
maybe a couple hours later they're quiet because they don't want to draw attention to themselves because of
That
the
is,
predators. So,
yep. That is exactly what well, not exactly what they tell you, but they tell you, you look in the morning, you will find birds.
well, that's amazing. I 10 out of 10
It's great.
to Reki games for that realism.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, I, 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 it's tough because when I wake up in the morning, first thing I want to do is bake my bread, darn it.
Yeah.
Um, but, um, let's see here. Okay, so that's bird watching. The other very active skill is the recycle bots. So there is a scientist bunny. I don't remember his name, but he has a lab, and
Hmm.
he created these robots called recycle bots to help pick up trash. But they more or less have gone haywire, and they now just run around town collecting trash. Um, and so he tasks you with capturing his recycle bots, and he gives you a net gun to do that.
Hmm.
Um, so it is load up your net gun, you run up to the recycle bot and try to capture it with your net gun. Like it's pretty straightforward, but it is challenging
It's
because
a
those suckers can move
You
fast.
basically are throwing a Pokeball at them
Basically, yes.
because it
If
does
you can
roll
hit
into a
like
ball.
it does. Um
His name is
so
Rowan, by the way.
Rowan is that the science name I couldn't
That's the
remember,
science
but yeah.
bunny.
Yep, the science bunny. Walking up to his lab is fun because he even has like lamps that will follow you. Like they'll start rotating on their robot arms to follow you.
Hmm.
Anyways, and so it's you get much like all the other things, you get rewards if you catch recycle bots, you get paid carrots or whatever. But like some of them, I don't know how to do it because some of them are literally too fast for me to keep up with. I can't catch them. I don't know if that's something I just need to keep leveling up my catching skill. I don't know if there's a way to ambush them to sneak up on them. I haven't been able to figure it out. Um, or if you get upgrades to the net gun, I don't know. But like bird watching, that one's pretty tricky. Like I've gotten better at it, I think. I'm able to catch some reliably. Like in the caves, there's a different variety they hold like sparkly gems and stuff like that. Those I can't catch at all. They run so fast, and I can't reach them. Um, but it is fun because it's a very it's a very different pace, right? Where it's again real time. You have to be very quick, very reflex heavy. And if you miss enough times, they will just disappear. They'll either drill into the ground or fly away. Um,
Classic
so
Pokemon.
yeah, it's Pokemon. That's correct. Just like the Safari Zone. That's correct. Um, so yeah, those are the recycle bots. Um,
Can you then
so
like
yeah.
use them?
No, not really.
They're just kind of you catch them and then he's like,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, pretty much. Like I say, he'll give you some carrots, but it's largely another Pokedex for you to fill. Right? You have a handful of those. You have the birds, you have the mushrooms, you have the recycle bots. Um, Even like ingredients, there's a handful of different catalogs for you to fill out. But yeah, that's mostly either for money or just filling out the decks. Um, but yeah, I think that okay, you know, there's one other important thing I forgot to talk about, and that's the community upgrades. So in the post office, there's this community project box or whatever, and basically you have to gather enough carrots to pay, and then something will happen. Like that's how you unlock the mines or the forest to go foraging in, right?
Yeah.
There's stuff down the line I know is in the game because we saw in the trailer and you can see what it is. like there's a deer you can ride around. There's you unlock windsurfing and a plane. Um, I have not reached those, so I can't comment on those. There's more
Okay.
stuff in the game for me to do for sure, but I have to progress through the community projects, which I haven't reached quite yet.
Okay.
Um, uh, and
Well, that's
so
cool.
like,
Sometimes like later game stuff, like it just
mhm,
makes things easier, and that's kind
mhm,
of like some it's cool that they have like legitimately cute slash cool like things to continue
yeah,
to strive for because sometimes it's like, oh, and next you can get this, you can make automation better. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
but like I'm good. Like I don't really need that.
yeah. Yeah,
So that's cool.
I agree fully, right? And among those community projects, a lot of it is upgrading your own stuff, getting
Hmm.
bigger farmlands, increasing the space of your place, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That exists too. But yeah, no, I agree. It's exciting to know there's some stuff I want to check out that I have to work
Hmm.
towards. Um, but yeah, so I think that more or less covers the mechanics.
Awesome.
I I think so like in case it wasn't obvious, like I love the game. I think it's
Hmm.
great. It's fantastic work, especially by one guy. I have a handful of criticisms, of course. I think early on the pacing is pretty slow.
Mm.
Um, like because you don't have access to the mines, you don't have access to the forest, right? So when you put your bread to bake, well, mm, you don't have a lot to do up front because
Yeah.
you can't even talk to your neighbors that much. It's one of those systems where they'll get tired of talking to you after X number of times, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I get it. Yeah.
yeah, no, I get it
I
too, but
also don't want to talk to people.
so so it takes a bit to get up to speed, but eventually, like especially I think once you unlock the second space in your little oven for no more bread, um, you start getting pretty busy pretty fast because now I'm juggling. Okay, I gotta put the bread to bake. I'm gonna go harvest my crops. I gotta go. Um, there's stuff
Yeah.
to forage. I go talk to people, giving gifts, yada yada.
To occupy
There's
your time. Yeah.
yeah, it starts to fill up fast. So just if you get it and you feel like it's a little pretty slow in the beginning, just hang in there. You'll get there.
Hmm.
Um, I also think part of it is how should I put this? I think this game is very much meant to be taken at a slow pace.
Hmm.
Um, because I know obviously as gamers we have the tendency to like, oh, there's the goal, grind, grind, grind to get to the
Yeah.
goal, right? A lot of people are like that, right? And that, like, yes, that's your goal, but it's like Animal Crossing where you don't have to rush to it, right? Like
Yeah.
once it clicked to me, like, you know what, I should just slow down and enjoy the game, just enjoy the serenity and then the cute music and everything. Like I started to enjoy it a lot more.
Hmm.
Um,
Not for game guzzlers.
right, right. Right. I mean, you
With
can because there's goals. If you want to guzzle, you want to min max your day, you can. You can time out
yeah.
exactly when your bread will be finished so you can get back in time. You have to
That
pick
just
it up
like
before it burns, by the way.
yeah.
Um,
That's cute.
yeah.
Uh, I've burnt, no
Um,
one wants burnt bread.
no, no one wants it. But yeah, I'm trying to think. What else is there? Not criticism, but the the developer has been really good about updates. There's been like two or three updates since the game came
Hmm.
out before this recording. Lots of nice little features. He updated some stuff for tutorials and stuff like that. He's been very good at listening to feedback. Another great innovation. Um, we are bunnies, or you're playing as a bunny, and
Hmm.
bunnies have a better sense of smell than people.
Mm.
Um, and so what you can do is if you are looking for someone, you can sniff and follow their scent trail.
That is adorable.
Isn't that great?
Can you
Right?
see the little
Because
nose move?
I think you do. Yeah, at least when you first click it, you do see the nose move. And then you get like little magic poofs that you're
That's
following
so
kind of thing.
cute. Yeah.
It's great. Because right, because that solves the frustration of finding someone that,
Yeah.
early Stardew had, right? And it's a little more clever than just putting a map with everyone's face, like follow
Yeah.
the trail. Um,
Well, and I'm like, we're such visual creatures, but the majority of life is not.
yeah, yeah,
Cool to include that.
yeah, absolutely. So that's Yeah, that's great fun. Um, let's see here. That's Sugar Creek Burrows. That's the name. So I was close.
There
Not
you
Sugar
go.
Do, Sugar Creek Burrows.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think that pretty much covers the game.
yeah.
If who would you recommend this game to? Like maybe not game guzzlers.
Look, okay. I think it delivers on the premise. If you watch the trailer, you see
Hmm.
it's a game about bunnies, being a bunny, running a bakery. If that sounds
Hmm.
appealing to you, go for it. Because like it's clear this game isn't meant to be, it's I joke it's not high octane action game,
Yeah.
right? It's still laid back, Stardew-esque. It, it might not have the like huge range of stuff you can do in Stardew exactly, at least where I am right now.
Hmm.
Um, so maybe don't go in expecting that, but if you enjoy Stardew, this might be worth a shot because the rhythm is similar of having all your daily tasks to do and so on and so forth. But yeah, I honestly, if you look at the trailer and it feels like something you'd like, I think go for it. I think it's very clear what it's trying to do and it does it well.
Hmm. Okay. I think it's a super cute game. And looking at the Steam page and looking at Reki Games, he also they also don't know the pronouns. They also developed Bun House, which is a very similar premise, but you're running a greenhouse. And I remember talking about that game. Not like I don't think we had an episode on it, but we did mention it on the pod before, and that also
Hmm.
looked like an adorable game. So, uh, yeah, I mean, if you like bunnies,
Oh my
definitely
gosh.
Ace.
Yeah.
Ace would probably like this game.
You know, it's fun. Yeah, all right, inside baseball here. I don't want to call her out, but she said something about the visuals didn't appeal to her. We thought
Oh, you're right. Yes,
yeah, yeah. We thought she'd be down for it, but it's didn't click, and then that's fine.
that's totally
Bunhouse. This
fine.
this is this is literally just Cinnabunny but gardening.
Yeah, it's like the same
Yeah,
aesthetic.
the same visuals and everything, same
Which
walk
I
cycle
mean, it's
animation.
not broke. Don't fix it. So,
Yeah, no. Yeah, you can put your hats on the bunnies, just like Cinnabunny. I have a top hat on mine.
oh, that's so
Uh,
cute.
yeah.
Does
When do
your
we
do
get the
your ears stick
expanded?
out?
Oh, I didn't talk about that. There is heavy, heavy bunny customization. Um, you can pick the style of ears. You want the pointy, the standing up ones? Do you want the floppy ones on the side?
Hmm.
You can pick ear length.
Oh
There's
gosh.
at least 30 to 40 different colors you can pick. You can pick your eye expressions or eye style.
Hmm.
It's a pretty in-depth bunny customization.
Could you make yourself a lion's head bunny with like a lot of fluff?
Yes, yes, you can.
Oh my gosh. I just watched one of my friends has a lion's head bunny and I just watched him for a couple weeks and he's just it's like hard to find his eyes and his
Yep,
face because he's
yep,
just fluff.
yep. You can pick a fluffy bunny.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's great. A plus on that front. Um, yeah. So there you go. That's Cinnabunny, folks. Two thumbs up from me. I will try to keep playing this game. I enjoy it. I say try to, but there's gotta get to play it. So
I'll think I'll wait a little bit longer. I am definitely going to get it at some point, but it is Windows only, and that makes me sad. So
yeah,
come out on something else, please. Um, Mac or a Switch or something.
something. Hopefully, got to push for this game.
Or I'll
Hopefully,
just push
it'll
to
make.
get a um Steam Deck. That was another potential in my life that
Mm,
has not happened, but that's totally fine. But yeah, we'll see.
all right, all right. I think that about wraps it up. So,
Mhm.
let's get on to the usuals. Cody, where do people find you on the interwebs?
They can find me on Instagram at Hiking Beagle, Beagle. Also on Blue Sky, just my name, Cody Mathis, with an E, Codey. Um, Blue Sky is going to be more neurodivergent, entomology themed stuff. Instagram is hilarious things that I can relate to. Dogs as well, pictures of my
Uh,
dogs. Um,
Blue Sky is for pairing which Winnie the Pooh character, which no divergency.
yeah. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And the Slack, but we'll mention that later. What
Yeah.
about you, Kev? Where can
You
people
can
find you?
find me at Koopa Prez on Blue Sky, at the Artist Squared on Blue Sky. I do have an art account. I haven't posted much, but I will be posting. So the Artist Squared was the original name, not the Spider Squared, which was
Mhm.
previously. But so that was finally open on Blue Sky, so I took it. And as seeing as how I've been doing a lot more non-pixel art, I have the appropriate timing for that. Anyways, you can also find me over at Rainbow Road Radio. The podcast I do with my mutual friend Alex. We do on all things Mario. In case people haven't heard, we the schedule changed up a bit. Alex got busy, so we were doing weekly. We're not doing weekly anymore as of right now. We recorded an episode that I have been trying to edit. I have not had time to edit it because I wanted to see if I could step up and edit so we could get more episodes going still. But that has not happened. But it will come out hopefully soon. Um, but yeah, there is plenty of other episodes for you to check out. Though. Again, that is Rainbow Road Radio on wherever you listen to podcasts. But if you want to listen to another podcast like this podcast, more of this podcast, you can find us at THS Pod on Tumblr and Blue Sky. You can find Al, creator of the show, at the Scott on Mastodon Scott. He's on Blue Sky, all that stuff. You can go to harvestseason.club for episodes and links to everything we talk about, or you can drop some feedback there. And then if you really want to get into the juicy stuff, head on over to patreon.com/thspod, where you can join our exclusive crew for a very low price. And you can join in on the Slack where we talk about different things, mostly about the episodes and whatnot. But feel free to chime in. All the hosts hang out there. Also, some other cool people. Um, you can feel free to. Oh, and you also get access to Greenhouse episodes. Episodes on non-cottage core stuff like our Pokemon Day both predictions and reactions to the presents. You can hear me and Al do both of those in
I'm
quick succession.
I'm excited
Um
to listen to that one.
it's a good time. I mean we're all huge Poke dorks, so
Mhm.
plenty to talk about. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Cody, for joining me. Thank you,
Yeah.
Al, for having us on, and thank you, listeners, for joining us on this episode. We will see you next week. And until then,
Have a
have a good
good
harvest.
harvest.
I wish I had a rabbit pun, but I don't.
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.